Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Thursday the 27th of September 2018. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me on Twitter throughout the day by using @ds_Pepperstone. Right, let's take a look at the overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. And really the story yesterday was one of pushback from the US dollar. You can see it made gains against both the euro, against the pound sterling, but also against the Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso. And dollar index for its part rallied by almost 0.3% overnight to trade at 94.47. The dollar probably bouncing back there on the actions of the US Federal Reserve, which we'll look at in a moment. Okay then, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today. Well, I've just distilled the calendar down to the key high-impact events that are due out. First of all, a speech by the Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda kicked off at 06:35 GMT this morning. And then to come at 12 PM GMT, we will hear from Germany and the Harmonised Index of Consumer Prices, the ECB's preferred measure of inflation, and that data being produced for the month of September. At 12:30, we'll switch across to the US for a read on GDP for the second quarter of the year in the US, and that will be a figure, I should say, that's calculated on an annualized basis. 4.2%, as you can see, was the last read, and that's the consensus forecast for today's number. We'll also get, alongside that GDP number, core personal consumption data also, and expenditures also for Q2 2018. Then at 13:30, we will hear from ECB President Mario Draghi, who will be speaking then, and at 1400 from the Bank of England's own Governor Mark Carney. Then at 20:30, hot on the heels of yesterday's FOMC meeting, the Fed's Jerome Powell will be speaking. And then at 21:45 GMT, Bank of Canada's Governor Poloz will also be giving a speech. So a packed programme of central bank speeches today. And then at 23:30, if you're still in the market, the influential Tokyo CPI inflation data, ex-food though, that one for the month of September. Okay then, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye. First of all, the Federal Reserve has raised US interest rates by 1/4% and has indicated that it is likely to do so once more in 2018. That despite trade war concerns and calls from the White House for a weaker US dollar and cheap money. The IMF has agreed to lend Argentina an extra $7.1 billion as it extends its already previously agreed bailout package. Remember that was the big, even in the prior form, that was the biggest bailout the IMF had ever made. No details though as to whether the funds will be released quicker than was previously planned, which is what the Argentinians were really after. Okay, the US may reveal the draft text of its trade agreement with Mexico this week, says the FT, with no mention of the inclusion of Canada in that deal as yet. And UK opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn will head to Brussels today to meet with the EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier and will urge him not to allow a no-deal Brexit to occur. Right then, food for thought and something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond. Why not think about this? The trade war between the US and China is starting to bite, and yesterday US car maker Ford said that tariffs had cost it an additional $1 billion in costs in 2018 to date. Meanwhile, Chinese corporate profitability has fallen to a 5-month low. US CEOs were surveyed last week by the Business Roundtable, and they have said that trade wars are definitely affecting their investment and spending plans. And the chart here shows the CEO's response over time to this regular questionnaire. And as you can see, these two items, capital spending and spending on software, have started to tick lower and are likely to continue to do so according to the CEOs. Worth seeking out that survey. It's available online. It's some very interesting insight into the thinking in US boardrooms. Right, please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or the suitability of leveraged products for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative and do take a moment to read this risk warning thoroughly. Thank you.